The ones nobody talked about were often the most damaged. They Pat Harrington, Jr. played Dwayne Schneider, the superintendent, he wanted to live, and he died from the consequences of those choices. He died in the late 1980s, and the damage from his lifetime of drinking cancer. Many people who knew him believed that the cancer was related to the decades of heavy drinking that had damaged his immune system. killed himself. The suicide was the result of years of substance abuse that had made his mental state unbearable. 12. Dana Plato. Dana Plato played Kimberly Drummond on Different Strokes, which ran on NBC from 1978 to 1986. She was a child star. She became famous before she was old enough to understand fame. And she also started drinking as a teenager. The drinking escalated quickly. By the time she was still on the show, she was using multiple substances daily. The addiction was secret, but the effects were visible to anyone who later spoke openly about his struggles, hoping to help others. 15. John Belushi. John Belushi was the star of Saturday Night Live from 19 film throughout her career. Her alcoholism was less publicly dramatic than many others on this list, but it was just as real and just as dangerous. She was drinking daily. She was managing her life around the drinking. She was managing her career around the drinking. But she was also slowly destroying her body. The turning point came when she recognized that she was approaching a point of no return. She decided to get sober before it was too late. The decision was hers, and the commitment was complete. She has since become an advocate for recovery, speaking openly about her past addiction and helping others. She is now open about the secret that had been destroying her. 19. Dustin Diamond. Dustin Diamond played Samuel Screech Powers on Saved by the Bell, which ran on NBC from 1989 to 1993. He was famous as a child. The show ended. And his life began a long decline into addiction. The addiction to various substances, including alcohol, was rooted in the pain of irrelevance. He had been famous. The show ended. He was no longer famous. The emptiness was unbearable. He used substances to fill that emptiness. The using continued for decades. His health deteriorated. His life became increasingly difficult. In February 2021, at age 44, he died from cancer. The years of substance abuse had left his body defenseless against illness. 20. William Holden. William Holden was a legendary film and television actor who worked for over 50 years. He was respected. He was talented. He was also a serious alcoholic who drank heavily throughout his entire career. The drinking was managed privately. He showed up to work. He did his job. But every night, he went home and drank. Every morning, he woke up and drank. The alcohol was the constant. He never tried to get sober. He lived the way he wanted to live, and he died from the consequences. His liver was damaged. His heart was damaged. His body simply gave out. He died in November 1981 at age 63. The secret that he had kept for 50 years had finally killed him. 21. Dick Van Patten. Dick Van Patten played Tom Bradford on 8 is Enough, which ran on ABC from 1977 to 1981. He was warm and fatherly, and he was also managing an addiction to alcohol that nobody talked about. He managed it quietly for years. The show gave him structure. When the show ended, the structure disappeared and the drinking escalated. He died in January 2015 at age 86 from natural causes, but the years of drinking had taken their toll. 22. Robert Guillaume. Robert Guillaume played Benson Dubois on Soap and its spin-off Benson. He was a groundbreaking actor, one of the first black performers to lead a major television series. He was also struggling with alcohol throughout his career. He kept the addiction hidden behind his talent and his professionalism. But it was there, destroying his personal life and his body. Eventually, he managed to get sober and became an advocate for recovery. 23. James Coco. James Coco was a character actor who appeared on television and in film. He was talented and funny. He was also an alcoholic who managed the addiction while working. He died in February 1987 at age 52 from a heart attack. The years of drinking had weakened his heart, and it finally gave out. 24. Marty Feldman. Marty Feldman was a comedian best known for his bug-eyed expression and physical comedy. He was genuinely funny. He was also struggling with alcohol throughout his career. He died in December 1982 at age 48 from a heart attack. The alcohol had damaged his heart, and it could not survive. 25. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman was best known as a film actor, but he also appeared on television. He was sober for 23 years. Then he relapsed, and the alcohol led back to heroin. Within months, he was using daily. He was hiding it. He was lying about it. In February 2014, at age 46, he was found dead in his apartment with a needle in his arm. The addiction that he thought he had beaten 23 years earlier had returned and killed him. 25 people. 25 different paths. But one constant, the addiction, was secret until it was too late. Nobody knew how much damage was being done because it was all happening in private. The shows kept going. The audience kept watching, and the people behind the cameras were slowly destroying themselves in ways that nobody could see. Which of these stories affected you most? Leave it in the comments. And if you want more about what was really happening behind the scenes of the shows you grew up with, subscribe